I love teaching. Yes, I do. I get to meet a whole bunch of different people. I get to teach something that I'm really passionate about. And I used to travel a lot around the city. Now I teach mostly from home or at BLC. My name's Cristina Pening-Ferrer. I use she, her pronouns. I am an English teacher, a professor at BLC, and a DEI consultant as well. And I'm also a food tour guide. So I got here in 2017, and I was going to be here just for 1 year. And I think it was probably within that year that we made the decision that we were going to stay for longer. And probably when I was like at a market and I was buying my fruits, and Carlos, my fruit guy, was like explaining what fruit of the season it was. And I was like, this is the life I need to be living all the time. Oh, you know nothing. Be ready to learn so much. I would say be open to everything, say yes to everything, and it gets easier. It's really hard at the beginning, so it does get easier. Exactly like the movies, I would say all of the good food, and the culture and like the lifestyle. I think that's exactly how I pictured Madrid to be. Totally different is there are no flamenco dancers on the streets all the time. Get to the Rastro really early, like before 10 a.m. And always order jamón ibérico de bellota. The Rastro one, because if not, it gets way too full and you can't really see anything. And the ibérico de bellota is because it's the best ham in the world. Personally, just because I am very social as well, probably because I'm also half Spanish. So I think I do a lot of conversation based, I do a lot of interactive classes, and that does work really well. I live in Vista Alegre, which is in Carabanchel. And what makes it home, I would say the parks that are nearby. I have 2 dogs and we like to walk around, and my market. My market also makes it home. Ozzy and Mili Lili Mari Carmen. Ozzy is from the United States, and Mili Lili Mari Carmen is clearly Spanish. Well, a great morning is with churros and chocolate, and a good morning is with una tosta de jamón, and some coffee, and just like sitting on my balcony with the sun. That's a great morning. It's not really a Madrid secret, but anytime I'm on a terrace with some friends having a vermouth and just like talking, catching up after a long day, a long week, or not seeing each other for a while, that's my favorite part of Madrid, just being on a terrace. And tapapiés, also. I'm a big foodie. Well, I'm happier, for sure. I'm a lot calmer. I'm originally from New York City, and that was very much go, go, go. And Madrid is still a big city, so I'm still going, but a lot in a much calmer way. So I'm definitely a calmer Cristina. No, I'm definitely much slower here. It's definitely a lifestyle change that I really appreciate and has done wonders for me and my mental health. It's a much slower pace of life and one that I really appreciate. I'm not sure what a Spanish habit I have, but I've definitely changed my eating habits. I now eat much later, right? So dinner at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm going to stay doing that. But yeah, that's definitely different. I would say full is how I would describe my life here in Spain. As I mentioned before, I wear a lot of different hats, and all of those hats make me really happy. And I have found a great community here, and so I feel like I have a very full life. I feel really lucky about that. Excitement, challenge, and adventure of so many kinds. You learn so much about your students, which then in turn, you learn so much about the Spanish culture. You learn so much about Spanish life. That alone is an adventure, and literally students give you the best recommendations so you can go on actual adventures. That the word Vale is used so often, and I hear it all the time, and It's always one that I get asked a lot by my friends who come to visit, like, what does it mean? And I was like, good question, because it just means like okay, but we use it all the time for everything at all times. So I just hear it all the time, and it always reminds me of all the questions I've gotten about it. Until you have sat on a terrace and had a beer or a vermouth, for sure. With friends, definitely, definitely. Not by yourself or by yourself, whatever feels comfortable and right for you. But yeah, with some friends in the sun, oh, it's great. Exactly. Or un sobremesa, also, which is that conversation you have after lunch where you stay and chat with your friends for like another hour or two, just talking and catching up. Figure out why you're on the fence. If it is fear of this adventure, of this challenge, of this new life, bite the bullet and come on over. It is life-changing. I was meant to be here for just 1 year, and that was 9 years ago. I fell in love with the city. I came through the TT program, and it was just going to be like an adult gap year where I was going to be here for 1 year, and then I was going to move back to the States. And I fell in love with the city. That might happen to you. It might not. You might just stay the 1 or 2 years, but it will 100% be a life-changing adventure, and a positive one. All right, thanks, y'all.